Over the past couple years, I have spent a lot of time on this channel talking about the best neighborhoods and the best places to buy, and you might be thinking, wow, she must love every house. And that is definitely not the case. There are a lot of homes that I have advised my clients against buying, and some that I won't even take people to see. So today, I'm going to be talking about homes in North Dallas that I would never buy. Not everyone's going to agree with this list, and that's fine, but over the past 10 years, these are the types of homes that have caused my clients the most problems and regrets. Plus, at the end, I'll give you a bonus. 2 types of homes that I would buy, even in a down market. Let's get started. I'm Emily Horrenda, Dallas area realtor, and my husband Tim and I have been helping people just like you buy and sell homes here in the Dallas area since 2015. Before we jump in, and this is not just a plug for working with me, really, honestly, whoever you end up working with, you want to make sure that that agent has a lot of experience on both sides, buying and selling. There are things that may not seem like a big deal now, but could totally turn off future buyers. A good agent will catch that stuff early on, so make sure you ask your agent how many years of experience they have listing homes, not just helping people buy them. So let's talk about foundation, because in Dallas, this is the #1 red flag that I see when it comes to property condition. Some areas in North Dallas, like Plano, Carrollton, Sachse, Wiley, and parts of Dallas proper, sit on some of the most expansive clay-rich soil in the entire metroplex. That means foundation movement is to be expected. It's not a matter of if, it's when and how much. Now, foundation movement alone isn't a deal breaker, but what is? Older homes in these areas that clearly need foundation work and haven't had it done. That's when I walk away. You're likely going to be taking on a lot more of repairs than you bargained for. So it's not that I wouldn't buy in these cities. You just need to go in with both eyes wide open. If the home's been evaluated, repaired professionally, and priced right, I'm all ears. But if you are the one stuck holding the bag on major foundation work, that is a risk I wouldn't take. Now, let's talk about new construction, specifically those with high or elevated tax rates, mud, and PID fees. This one is big for many of the outermost DFW suburbs. Honestly, there's way too many to name here that have these special taxing districts. The bottom line here is if you're looking in a community that has mud or PID fees, before you go and sign a new build contract, you want to make sure you're comparing what you get in that community with other communities nearby that maybe don't have those fees. I see this a lot in the prosperous Celina area. There are places in Celina where your tax rate with the added mud fees are going to be over 2.8%, where you could go just a few miles to the east, have higher rated schools, and pay a tax rate of 1.9% with no mud or PID. The home price might be a little bit higher, but then you're at least paying towards your equity. Let's talk floor plans. Specifically, those weird chopped up layouts you often will see from homes from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. You'll find this a lot in older parts of Plano, Garland, Louisville, Richardson, and North Dallas. Think sunken living rooms, kitchens that are closed off by walls, oversized formal dining rooms that no one uses anymore, and hallways that lead to nowhere. Now, can these be updated? Sure, if you're ready to take down walls, raise ceilings, and drop some serious cash. And for most buyers, it's just not worth the effort. I personally avoid homes that need a full gut job to feel livable, especially since you can find newer homes or renovated homes at similar prices. There have been several times where I'm telling my clients, guys, we can find way better. All right, this one seems like a no-brainer, but I've seen some new builds, even from big name builders, where the main living room layout feels like an afterthought. Maybe it's too narrow to fit a normal sectional, or the room is too asymmetrical to furnish without blocking a walkway. Other times there's odd columns around the living space that just break up the flow. If the main living space doesn't function, it doesn't matter how big it looks on paper. This is where people live, relax, entertain. And if it's off, it throws the whole house off. Next up, homes that have major traffic around them or airplane noise. Now, there is a lot of nuance to this, and some of it has to do with your personal tolerance for it. But beyond that, how this is reflected in the price of the home is what I'd be the most concerned about. There are some communities in Irving so close to the airport that you're going to feel like the planes are coming down on top of you. I would not buy there unless you get a price that makes it really worth it to you. Beyond that, you have homes that back to the main artery into the community. You're going to have more street noise. Maybe that bothers you, maybe it doesn't. But even if it doesn't, you're going to want to see the price of that home compensate for that feature. Because I can guarantee you when you go to sell it, so many of the people that walk through that home are going to complain about it, even if it didn't seem like a big deal to you. These types of homes take longer to sell and always sell for thousands of dollars less. Let's talk about flips, because we've all seen them. New paint, new countertops, maybe even some fancy light fixtures. But in rapidly gentrifying areas, there are a lot of flipped homes where the upgrades look good on the surface, but the work underneath just isn't right. And when there's no permit history, no receipts, and no documentation, those are red flags. If you're considering buying a home that is more than a half-century old, have your radar up and know what to look for. Now, not all flips are bad. There are some great investors and builders doing some quality work, but I want to see transparency and documentation. Otherwise, I'm walking away. Now, let's talk about model homes, specifically after the builder uses them for years as a sales office. On the surface, you're thinking of the upgraded finishes, designer touches. Sometimes they even offer to throw in the staged furniture. But here's what they don't always tell you. Models are commonly built on some of the least desirable lots, often right at the entrance of the community, so that they can attract drive-by traffic, which is understandable. And they are packed with high-end finishes designed to wow people coming in off the street. And you are going to be paying a premium for those finish outs, even if you wouldn't pick them yourself. Next, one of a kind sounds great until it's time to sell. I'm talking about homes with unusual architectural styles, niche floor plans, and custom features that are way outside the norm, or even the largest home in the neighborhood. I'm talking about dome homes. I'm talking about the project where they added unusual custom touches that don't have mass appeal and unfortunately cannot be easily altered. Or even something like a 4,000 square foot home in a neighborhood of 2,500 square foot homes. Even if the quality is there, they can sit on the market longer and attract fewer buyers, and you will not be able to recover your value quite the same. When it comes to resale, I want a home that's memorable but marketable. And the more unique the design, the smaller your buyer pool gets. Next, a zero lot line home isn't always a problem if the neighborhood offers usable green space nearby. Many well-planned communities in DFW, like those in Frisco, Celina, or McKinney, offset smaller lots with walking trails, pocket parks, or community greens. But in other developments, especially garden home enclaves, you'll sometimes find entire sections with no backyard and no usable outdoor space whatsoever. Unless you're in a true urban setting, that is a hard sell. If you're giving up a yard, you need to have something else in return. A park, a courtyard, something that gets you outside. If not, that's a quality of life compromise I wouldn't make. Last one, but one with an important caveat. A mobile or modular home on land when the land itself holds little value. Don't get me wrong, I am not against affordable living, but in DFW, a mobile home on 2 acres sounds good until you realize resale is limited, financing is tricky, and appreciation tends to flatline, especially if the home isn't permanently attached. Now, the exception to this is when the land itself holds considerable value. I've had clients who have purchased modular homes on stunning acreage that did perform well when it was time to sell. But you better have some strong data that shows that the land itself is going to hold its value well. If you're buying land for future value or want to build equity over time, a site-built home is a safer play. Manufactured homes have their place, but personally, I wouldn't buy one unless I had a plan for what's next. All right, let me flip it around for a second and tell you 2 types of homes I would buy. First, I'd go for well-built, new construction in a community with low taxes. 2 of my favorites are Astor Park in McKinney or Liberty in Melissa. Astor Park comes with coveted Prosper ISD schools and even has a gated entrance. We just put out a video about this that you can watch. Liberty and Melissa may be even a better pick because they are nearing the end of construction, which means you won't be competing with a builder for long. And you still get very highly rated Melissa ISD, and you're living in a city that was voted the safest city in Texas. Second, I'm looking at established communities with low turnover rate and some of your older suburbs where there's no new construction. Great schools, like some neighborhoods in Plano, Flower Mound, East Richardson, Central Allen. It's even better if you can find something with a premium lot. Whenever you find these neighborhoods where homes don't go for sale very often, you know the people that live there really like it there. So chances are you will too. All right, so that about does it for today. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you'd like us to help you find a home here in Dallas, give us a call, text, or email. We'll see you next time.